What's up? 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 What is up? How are y'all doing today? It is Friday, and y'all know what that means. That means we're gonna have us a good old time tonight. I am your host, Emmanuel Eman Noisette, and I want to welcome each and every one of you to one of the best, most fun, entertaining live chats on all of YouTube. And I want to thank you guys for taking the time to be here today. Guess what? We are going to talk about a couple of topics from the news during the week. We've got some Spider-Man updates. We're going to be talking about what is Superman Legacy. We've got some updates with that. I will be giving you my review of Dune Part Two. I've already dropped a couple reactions and things. So basically, you kind of know where I'm at if you're following my channel. But I'm gonna go into a little bit more detail explaining why I felt the way I felt about Dune Part Two. And then we're going to cover a couple other fun topics that I think you guys will have a good time with. If you do want to participate in the live chat, all you got to do is subscribe to the YouTube channel, be a member of the EFAM, and you too can have your voice shared and your thoughts and comments seen on the live chat. And all you got to do is just subscribe. It's free. Trust me, I'm not charging y'all a thing to just subscribe and follow the channel. Let's see. Oh, I've got to thank a couple people. Hold on one second. I almost forgot because they came in last second the other day, or last week, I should say. Let's give some quick shout outs to oh, wait a minute. Okay, so first of all, Loki, I don't know if I thanked you or not for this, but I do want to send a thank you for the $30 cash app, and that was for Kobe's new toy. I guess we got to go get him a new toy then. And then for Terrence, thank you so much. Jimmy Butler got ejected. I didn't know that. Okay. But thank you, brother, for the $10 cash app. And I appreciate both of y'all for keeping the channel ad free. You know, it's because of y'all and supporters like you guys that keep this channel ad free. And wait a minute. Hold on. Oh my gosh. Okay, I don't know if you want me to say your government name or not, but the initials KN. Um Ms. KN. I'll just say that because I don't know if people want their government name out there. Thank you so much for the $150 cash app. I'm sending some love right back. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, that was Kiki. Okay, Kiki, I didn't know if you wanted your name out there. Okay, I'll thank you, Kiki. I didn't know if you wanted your government name out there, so I was trying to be respectful. Thank you so much for that. That is amazing. You said just because happy Friday. My goodness, look, y'all, come on now. You know I appreciate y'all so much, Kiki, from the bottom of my little critic heart. You already know. Thank you so much. That is amazing. And so generous of you. I really appreciate you, for real. Just way too kind, but thank you for keeping the lights on. I really do appreciate it. Oh gosh, got me all of my feels already. It's too early. We just started. No, we just started now. uh Thank you again, Kiki. I always appreciate you. All right, let's see. Let's give some quick shout outs, and then we're gonna go through some of the topics and get to it. Ism, what's going on? Thank you so much for being here. Jay, what is up? Rachel, how you doing? My man Johnny Washington is back. Always a pleasure. Peanut butter jelly time. It's peanut butter jelly time. Listen, it's just every time that come on, it's just a hit. It's a smacking hit. So thank you so much for being here. Zia Latrice, always a pleasure to have the homie back. Extraordinaire, what is up? Good to see you. Kristen Pratt, how you doing? Y'all make sure to get those likes up. Now, Kristen, you know good and well. See, it be your own people. It be your own people. How you gonna be on the mod squad and you do that? Like what? Guys, make sure you just get the likes up if you enjoy the content. I would suggest that you ignore the latter part of this comment. Um, thanks. Thank you. Your own people, boy. All right, who else we got? Erica, what is up? Good to see you. Minister Crush, how you doing? My man, Dan, the man. What is going on, brother? Good to see you. We got a whole celebrity in the house. Come on, wouldn't be alive without Ms. Harper. Thank you so much for being here. Always a pleasure. Diane, good to see you again. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being here. Always a pleasure. Kimmy, what is up? Thank you so much for being here. My man Corey is back. Good to see you. Didier, what is up? Thank you so much, brother. Mama J is in the building. Good to see you. Jesus. Hello, hello. MC, how you doing? I hope you're recovering. I think you said you had a surgery or something that you got to do. I hope you're having a speedy recovery. Catch us on the replay. And by the way, shout out to the replay gang. Treese, what is up? Good to see you as well. 60 plus. Thank you so much. Tracy, what is up? Thank you so much for being here. Who else we got? I saw my man Nelson V. What is going on? Thank you so much for being here. Rhonda, thank you so much. What is up? What is up? Let's see. William, good to see you. Tanya, good to see you as well. Jam, how are you? Coriander, is that it? Did I get that? Coriander, how are you? T-Ville, good to see you. Deborah, the homie, how are you? Cal Payne, good to see you. Raymond, thank you so much for being here as well. And let's see, I got Andrew. Good to see you again. My man Philroy's back. Natalie, how are you doing? My man Lou is back in action. CJ, thank you so much. Soto, Sim, who else? I'm about to wrap it up. Tyra, Kristen, it's she, my man. What is up? Kristen, Rabia. Shout out to everyone that has made it out tonight, guys. I really, really appreciate y'all for stopping by and hanging out. Let's see. We got a couple. Let's see. Do we have a couple that we can get to? Let's do a couple of these real quick. Anthony, my competition, I'm assuming, I don't know, is set for the May 25th, so I'm locked in right now. Good job. I catch these on the replay. I saw where you said you would be willing to debate anyone for Dragon Ball versus Naruto. When my competition is done in T'Challa's voice, I will accept. So let me clarify that. I should have put this in there because, you know, this is a live. I meant to say anyone with a substantial channel because I want it to be something entertaining for both parties and mainly for the audience. So there's no diss to you or anything like that. But if I'm going to do a collab, I usually like to do it with channels that are similar, if not greater than my own channel in terms of reach and status, mainly because it's a good investment for the time. It gets more, you know, audience coverage, and it's just more entertaining, hopefully, for the rest of y'all. So there's no diss to you whatsoever. I would encourage you, if you do want to have that conversation, go to that video. I made a separate clip for the Naruto video, the live action video. Put your argument right there. I'll come and comment. Like I see, you know, if I have time, I see the comments. I come in, you know, listen, put it down. Let's go. Put it down in the comments. I'll go in there. So, you know, either way, Naruto is still better. You know, I know it's a tough pill to swallow. Okay, I know some of y'all just have a hard time accepting it. And again, just because something's better does not mean the other thing is like a terrible thing. It's okay. It's okay. Naruto's just better. I'm just saying it's just better. That's all. You know, but anyway, thank you so much, Anthony. I appreciate you. And good luck to you on your competition, man. I hope you do a good job. Let's see what you got here. One more. Thank you so much. Number 1, Yu Yu Hakusho, Cowboy Bebop, Death Note, Dragon Ball Z, Naruto Shippuden, Dragon Ball, the only anime I ever watched. My grandfather, Naruto, and Code Geass. Man, I don't know about this. I don't know about this list. Right, listen. You lost me at Cowboy Bebop. That being that high. And listen, I understand a lot of people like it, and there's no shot. You're entitled to your opinion. This would not be my list. Not even Cowboy Bebop, not even making my top 10. Not even close to my top 10. Um, yeah, I can't. In my opinion, I saw Cowboy Bebop, and I want to say maybe half of the episodes were pretty entertaining for me. So again, my reception, because I didn't grow up with Cowboy Bebop, I watched it much later. When I did watch it, it came off as overrated to me based off of what people used to hype it up to be. So for me, it just didn't land at all. Like, I heard people keep on hyping up Cowboy Bebop, and I was like, let me go see what the hype is about. And I was just kind of like, this is it? This? This y'all anime? You know, like it's a little overrated to me. You know. But if y'all like it, that's cool. If y'all like it, whatever. It just wouldn't be. Look, it ain't in my top 5. It ain't in my top 10. It ain't in my top 15. It's just not there. I'm sorry. It's just not for me. You know what? I have to rewatch Yu, but I think Yu might be in my top 10. I think it might be in my top 10. But I have to rewatch it, so I'll leave on that. But I can't spend too much time on it because last time we got deep into it. That's gonna have to be another time, maybe even another channel. I don't know. We're gonna have to do an anime Sunday, Saturday, or something. I don't know. But Anthony, thank you so much. And like I said, good luck to you on your competition. Derek, thank you so much. How's Kobe? Kobe's cool. Kobe is cool. Kobe's got a good week right now. He still is shedding, so he's still got this little natural funk to him, but I know it's temporary. It's only for a season. But yeah, Kobe's better. Like we've been cool lately. Like one thing, just real quick, one thing I started doing with Kobe was I started to do more positive reinforcement. Now, this was something that I used to do a long time ago when I was first training him, but I started realizing as he started getting like his little teenage years, he's starting to get like a little attitude. You know what I'm saying? Like there times like Kobe, I'll be like, Kobe, come, and he'll be like, I'll be like, excuse me? Like, wait a minute. Who you gonna stop? What are you doing? So rather than getting, all alpha doggish on him, I was just like, you know what? Let me bust out the treats. Let me go ahead and, make it worth it when people call him and stuff. So we've been doing good. We've been all right. I'll say that. Man, listen, I'm looking at some of these comments. Y'all already going in on the anime. Fist of the North Star. I would argue Fist of the North Star was better than Cowboy Bebop to me. But that was one of my old school, like original animes. I love Fist of the North Star. Like, I don't know. Would we have Dragon Ball without Fist of the North Star? I don't know. I don't know which one came first, but I like that. I like that. Anyway, sorry. Y'all be getting me on sidetrack with that. Nelson, before you and E Crew ask, haven't watched my list yet. Nelson, we knew. You ain't what? Did y'all know the sky was blue? Water is still wet, and Iron Fist still need to be recast. Nelson, we knew. This ain't nothing, bro. I need an update when you do watch something. I didn't say nothing when I called you out, when I gave you a shout out. I wasn't gonna say nothing, brother. I knew. We all knew. Okay. Listen, when you see something, let us know, because otherwise we just gonna assume Nelson go Nelson. That's what we gonna assume. We gonna know you ain't watched Blade or the Raid 1 and 2. We gonna already assume the assignment has not been completed. Okay, so we know. We know. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you, man. Let's see, Natalie, what you got? Have you watched MOK X on National Geographic? No, I have not yet. But funny thing, I actually so I went to the AFCA Awards last week, and I bumped into Kelvin Harrison Jr. He's the one that played Martin Luther King in that series. And yeah, it was fun because I like him as an actor. I think he's a phenomenally talented actor. And like if you guys haven't seen Kelvin, watch him in Loose, Luce. Great performance. He had a movie on Netflix called Monster, I believe. Solid film as well. Just a really great acting talent. But no, I have not caught up on that. I probably should, but thank you so much for that. I gotta add it to the radar. Honestly, and I haven't mentioned this before, but because people kept asking me this, man, what are you doing with Shogun? I started watching Shogun. It's on FX. Hold on, let me put this up here because I know somebody gonna ask, and I'm gonna have to point them to this direction. Hold on. All right. Hold on. There we go. Let's all right. So I have started Shogun. It's only 2 episodes. And I don't know about anybody else, but for whatever reason, FX ain't really playing nice with the screeners and nothing. So I can't watch the entire series. But I like it so far. Now I know that there's been a lot of hype about it, because it was based off of a previous series and book series. I have not read the books. I have not watched the previous series at all. So I've only watched the first 2 episodes. I think that people might want to pull back a little bit on the Game of Thrones comparisons. I don't really get Game of Thrones from this outside of just the political dynamics. It's because to me, and don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that the Game of Thrones comparisons are wrong. I just think that when you talk about Game of Thrones, it carries a level of expectation in addition to the political stuff, right? So not only when people hear Game of Thrones do they think, oh, you're trying to be the king or you're trying to be the queen or whatever, but they're also thinking of like the quality of the show. So for me, when I think of the Game of Thrones, I'm like, yeah, the political stuff that has in common for sure. But is it on the level of Game of Thrones? Not yet. I haven't seen that yet. But it's still early. It's only 2 episodes. Who knows? But so far I'm liking it. Am I loving it? Not yet. I don't think I have enough to love it yet. But good acting so far. Story is cool. I like the second episode where we got that nice little bit of action at the end, and clearly the plot thickens. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it. And it was funny because a friend of mine was like, "Oh, I didn't know we was getting so adult on FX." I was like, "Hey, I mean, that's I guess that's another Game of Thrones, comparison you could put to it, right?" So either way, I'm in. I'm watching it. I'll see how it goes. And but am I going to review it? Probably not. I'm probably not going to review it, mainly because even though this I guess kind of was a review, but I'm not as familiar with that historic time period, and I'm not very familiar with the series as much. And for me, I don't like to review things that I feel as though I can't contribute enough insight or commentary to. So I'm sitting back as a fan. I'm just watching it like a regular old person that don't know nothing about Japanese, Portuguese, English history. I'm just sitting back and enjoying it. That's all. So anyway, you guys let me know, how do you feel about Shogun so far if you are watching it. Like I said, I'm enjoying it so far. I'll be tuning in every week to see what happens next, but y'all let me know what you think in the comments down below. What else do we have? Rhonda, what you say? First of all, Samurai Champloo. You know what? I never watched it. Listen, hey, before y'all start, relax, because I know there's some animes out there y'all ain't seen either. Okay, relax. Okay, yes, there are a couple that have been on my list and I never got around to it. Okay, but that was one that I have not gotten to, so I can't comment on it, on how good or bad or wherever it is. Rhonda, I like your taste and stuff, so I'm gonna take your word for it. Okay, I'm gonna take your word. I trust you now. All right. Sim. Now hold on. Let me see. Somebody gonna trip. Okay. I know somebody was gonna trip. I know somebody was going to. Let's see. Sim, what you got? E-Man and E-Fam. I am cooking dinner. Salmon, French green beans, mashed potatoes. Wait a minute now. Having brandy in my new kitchen. Shout out new kitchen. Have dreamed of this moment, watching live and cooking in a new spot, and had to share with my fam. Love y'all. First of all, are you sharing a plate? Because man, that sounds delicious. The French green beans, I've had American green beans. I've had regular old black people green beans. I ain't never had no French green beans before. And what you putting on that salmon? We do a little lemon pepper, a little juice. What? I'm just curious, asking for a friend, and I'm my friend. Yeah, what you putting on them mashed potatoes too? Because listen, I haven't eaten, so there's that. But yo, congrats on the new kitchen. Listen, I will admit, getting a kitchen upgrade. The only thing that could compare to a great kitchen upgrade, and it's one or the other for me. It's a bathroom upgrade. Ooh. If you get a nice renovated bathroom, oh, what a nice shower. Ooh, that's my dream. Let me tell y'all something. That's my dream. But if I can get a nice kitchen, woo! We got an island right now, so it does the trick. It's fine. I wish I had a little more space. I could put my air fryer here. I could put my breakfast stuff over there. Dang it! Now I'm hungry. See, you a South Louisianian then? Yo, hey Sim, we're gonna have to listen. You could freeze a plate, a bowl. Just FedEx. Listen, we just gonna have to talk because I trust everybody from the South what they cooking. I just trust all Southern cooking. That's just me. Just automatically, it's a go. It's a go. But anyway, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And congrats on the new kitchen. All right, let's start off. So yeah, we do have to start off with a little bad news. Just to kind of get through it. But unfortunately, guys, we lost a comedy legend. And that is Richard Lewis. I don't know about y'all, but I enjoyed Richard Lewis in the past. Thought he was a really funny guy. In the 90s specifically. But it looks like here he unfortunately has passed away. Says here Richard Lewis, the stand-up comedian who also starred alongside Larry David in Curb Your Enthusiasm, died on Tuesday night at his LA home due to a heart attack. He was 76. He had announced last April that he had been diagnosed with Parkinson's disease and was retiring from stand-up comedy. So, I remember Richard more so from I think it was like the Jay Leno or something like that. Where he used to do stand up and everything, and then I'd see him in like different movies here and there, and I thought he was always cool. I always thought he was cool, but like I thought it was a great resurgence for his career when he was on Curb Your Enthusiasm. Like he was a great compliment. Him and Larry David, oh my, like they would have these hilarious like just banter sessions, and it was just really, really funny. So, definitely a hit, sucks. I thought he was pretty funny. But yeah, rest in peace to Richard Lewis, and best wishes and condolences to his friends, family, and anybody else. So if you were a fan of Richard, please feel free to share your thoughts, comments, anything you remembered, whatever you think. Let me know in the comments down below. All right, moving on. So we've had this conversation. We've had a conversation for a while about the advancement of AI. And one of the things that AI we talked about last week was how I think it's called Sora, how it's currently out there and it pretty much can make your B-roll footage for you. You can probably go ahead and make a movie with AI and barely pay a dime, at this point. We talked about it, how Tyler Perry had to shut down his studio just because this was kind of like a game changer. So that was kind of interesting in terms of how it might affect the rest of the Hollywood industry, right? So we keep hearing about how AI is moving up, how studios have been accused of using AI left and right. We just had like a whole actors and writers strike, and AI was a huge factor in that. But now it seems as though the writers are going to fight back. It seems like the writers have now made a counterpunch to AI, and I wanted to share it with you because I think, and this is not just industry stuff. I think this could be a positive thing that we can benefit from as well. So let's kind of go into it here. This is Shane Black, by the way. It says here that Shane Black, he was the guy that did Iron Man 3. Jim Hersfeld, Meet the Parents, and Keela Cooper did Megan, are among 24 industryites who collaborated on the development of a new tech platform dubbed the Gauntlet. And this is going to be in an effort to keep humans assessing screenplays at the gatekeeper stage rather than AI. So, in other words, when somebody submits a script in Hollywood, what they're basically saying is that it's possible that the studios or producers or whoever might actually use AI to kind of like go over the script and maybe make a decision. So now they're coming up with this whole plan called the Gauntlet to counteract that. So that way it's still humans and not AI that's making these decisions. Here, listen to more of these ideas and y'all let me know what you think about them. It says here that the idea that sees screenwriters pay, so a writer would have to pay $380 as a fee to run their script through a gauntlet of professional story analysts. Each script starts with at least 7 readers to make sure that its journey doesn't end because of one person's opinion or taste. Scripts doing well ascend to the next level and garner more readers. The platform that gives screenwriters direct access to Hollywood decision makers to vet and potentially shop their screenplays. So what this is basically saying is like, yo, if you're a screenwriter, you pay that $380, you're going to get 7 writers to read through this. And if it sounds good, it's going to keep climbing up the ladder. It's almost like that Mortal Kombat, the gauntlet, going through everybody until rather than having like some random intern or some random studio head person kind of glance at it while they drinking they coffee or whatever and just throwing it away. So they're trying to make sure more actual writers, people that know what they're talking about, take a look at these things. It says here the system organizes and tasks these individuals to read some or all of a script, depending on what level the script has reached inside the gauntlet. One common complaint from writers is that their work is at the mercy of siloed decision making, and a promising career can be derailed by just one review, often from an intern, unqualified reader, or increasingly an algorithm. By contrast, the gauntlet ensures that each project receives a consensus of professional opinion comprised of entirely humans. Goes on to say writers who submit their scripts with the gauntlet, who know the pool of reader, they will know who the pool of readers are, which is why the names, photos, and biographies of everyone involved in assessing a given script can be found on the website. Additionally, scripts that perform well in the gauntlet will be searchable by a database offered to agencies, studios, and production companies. I love it. I love the sound of all of that. Not only do writers now have a chance to have their screenplays, seen by other writers, other people that have been successful in the business, other people that know how the industry works, how storytelling works. Not only do you have that, but you have a chance of potentially hearing a new idea. And this is where I think we benefit, not get thrown out just because some random producer at a random studio who's never written a script in their life doesn't get it, or can't figure something out. And I also like the fact that they're being transparent with this. Whoever read your script, you can see who it was. You can actually identify this person, that person, etc. And once these things make it up the list, Hollywood, production company, studios, whoever, they can just go to that website, search for it, and they can be like, oh man, here's a gold star screenplay that went through 7 qualified writers, and we're looking for a movie that's a horror or whatever. I don't know. And here's a gold star level right here. Let's give this writer a chance. I like this because all this says to me is that unlike AI, which is probably going to scan for generic stuff anyway, this sounds like you're going to keep that human element, something that, again, people that are in the industry, maybe they can sniff out something that's different, that's fresh, that's new, that's unique, that stands out, and be like, yo, this is something that deserves to be seen in Hollywood. And when it goes through that, maybe Hollywood will make better decisions on how these things will get. Let me explain how this could be real. Imagine if the Morbius or Madam Web script went through this process. Y'all think that would have made it up the gauntlet? I don't. I'm just saying there's a very good chance that boo boo scripts won't keep making their way up the ladder, and we have an opportunity to get stronger films by this gauntlet. Now, I think this would be great for the whole industry to do, but if we can filter out a couple of the nonsense, I'm with it. So y'all let me know, what do you think about this gauntlet idea? How do you feel about it? Do you think that this might not even work? Do you think AI is taking over and that's it? Or do you think this is good for the industry? Whatever you think, let me know in the comments down below. Rhonda, what you got? Oh, I forgot. Samurai Champloo has a hip hop flav. So it does. So I've seen clips of it. And I've heard the hip hop element to it. I didn't know if that was dubbed or not, but okay, yeah, I'll definitely take your word for that. Like I said, it's on the list. It's on the list of things I gotta watch. I mean, you know, just need time. All right, let's move on. So we have an update for Beef. In case you did not know, I have already told y'all Beef is a fantastic series that you can currently watch on Netflix. It stars Steven Yeun and Ali Wong. They both just basically get into one car conflict and it goes downhill from there. I've already said that I love the writing, I love the acting, I love everything about that series. So now the question is, like, what do you do from here? Some people were thinking that maybe they would continue the story, but it seems like we do have an update on what could potentially happen with the future of Beef. And well, looks like this. Beef season 2 could be eyeing more people, more actors, as you see here. It says here that the Lee Sun Jin, who is the creator of Beef, an executive producer, he's eyeing a second season on Netflix, and A24 is also involved. Says here, we hear the storyline this time will revolve around 2 feuding couples. You're gonna have Charles Melton and Kaylee Spaney. I believe that's the 2 on the left, and then Jake Gyllenhaal and Anne Hathaway are the other names that they hear. It says here, admittedly, this is very early. No deals are in place, but we understand that a limited season's worth of scripts were just turned in and are about to be, and that Netflix and A24 are ready to get a second season into production by late summer or fall. So I absolutely like this idea. I like this cast. I think Charles Melton is a great actor. Um, I got a chance to meet him. Really cool guy as well. I don't know Kaylee, so I can't speak to that. Jake Gyllenhaal, that's an automatic for me. Jake to me is one of those underrated actors that I don't know if it's his decision making, the projects he's in, but I haven't seen him miss as an actor Not yet. He usually will step into a role and really do a good job in it, even if the movie's not that good or the series. So I'm excited about that. And I love Anne Hathaway. Like, she's just great. Princess Diaries, shout out. So I like the idea that this is happening. I trust the creator from Beef. The writing, like I said, was impeccable. So I trust this process at this point. And you got A24 behind this. A24, man, listen, they know how to tell some stories. Now, they don't hit everything, but they usually go very well when it comes to like originality and creativity. So I like this. This sounds good to me, but y'all let me know. Have you seen Beef? If you have seen it, are you excited for this potential new situation? Maybe does this cast excite you? Do you want to see something different? Whatever you think, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. All right, let's go. I wanted to address. So let's kind of address these real quick. So we've talked about how a lot of rumors be going out, a lot of people be talking about this, that, whatever. And I've already told y'all, be very careful with rumors. And the other thing is, like, be very careful of how rumors get interpreted, because a lot of times people will say one thing, they'll take it another, and then they'll run with it, etc. So last week, I think it was JN. I apologize if it wasn't, but somebody had mentioned how there was a rumor going around that Daniel Craig, aka James Bond, was in talks with Marvel about potentially being Doctor Doom or something like that. And I hadn't heard that at the time, but you know, uh, I had just saw that there was the guy that the rumor started from. He actually posted a clarification, so I wanted to share that just so that we can kind of be clear about what he meant by that. And he says here, guys, I did not say that Daniel Craig was in talks for Doctor Doom. He's talked to Marvel in the past. That's well established. Balder the Brave, etc. I said, given Marvel's past interest in him and the fact that they're casting a European villain and want a big star, he'd make a good Doom. So he's clarifying that no, he did not hear that Dr. Doom was going to be Daniel Craig. He just put it out there that he thought that he could make a good Doom. Now, I disagree. I don't personally think that that would be my top choice to play Dr. Doom, but either way, because I already told you, he seems a little older. Like, I don't know how long he want to play the role. Like, Dr. Doom, you got to play that role for a while. Like, that's not going to be no one and done villain. But either way, I just wanted to clear that up. And what else? We got another rumor that was put out. Now, this one was from Daniel Richmond. Of course, these two guys, Jeff Snyder and Daniel Richmond, are pretty much taking over when it comes to the rumors nowadays. But this one came from Daniel. Now, we had heard this rumor before, but he kind of it sounds like he's clarifying this a little bit more specifically, and it has to do with y'all boy, Anthony Mackie. It says here, Marvel Studios has reportedly removed the Serpent Society from Captain America Brave New World. The movie's final battle has also been changed through reshoots. Oh, no. Oh, well. Now, listen. I've already shared a video about the reshoots for Captain America Brave New World. We talked about how Marvel had actually brought in a new person, it was a consultant or something like that. They brought in to rewrite the reshoots. Now, that is not something we've talked about reshoots before. We've talked about how sometimes studios pre-plan for reshoots. That's normal. That's not a red flag or anything to be concerned about. What is concerning is if it's true that the reshoot is to redo a huge chunk of the movie. And according to the rumors so far, Captain America had like 3 major scenes and they rewrote and reshot 3 major scenes. Now, keep in mind when you're watching a movie, a lot of times the big battles are probably like the main meat and potatoes of the movie. So the question is like, yo, what did y'all remove here? Now we're getting this from this rumor. Now I already said, and I think, oh gosh, I think when this was first released, they had Seth Rollins from the WWE coming in and he was going to play one of the Serpent Society people or whatever. I told y'all that was a red flag from the very jump, and mainly because the second y'all bringing in wrestlers that are not established actors. I know wrestling's fake and dramatizing all that stuff, or I shouldn't say fake, predetermined, but ain't nobody checking for Seth Rollins. No, thank you. And it always kind of gave me that vibe that it was a very gimmicky type of thing. So that right there was a red flag for me. But if this rumor is true, they're getting rid of it. So maybe Marvel learned their mistakes. I don't know. Either way, I've been on record saying this. Captain America 4 Brave New World is still on my list of being very cautious about. Like I said, anything that was conceived and planned during that pandemic era between 2020 and 2021, 22, I don't have a lot of faith in that. I know they're trying to fix it, but I don't have a lot of faith in it. My faith is more so going to be in Deadpool. I think they'll do good with Deadpool and anything after 2025. So, Kang Dynasty, if that's still going to be the name, and Secret Wars. That anything after that, that's what I'm looking at. But anything in between that, no. But anyway, what do y'all think about these rumors? How do you feel? Did you want Daniel Craig to be Dr. Doom? Do you look at this as a positive sign or a bad sign for Captain America that they're getting rid of the Serpent Society? Whatever you think, let me know your comments down below. Right, what you got? Mr. Mitchell, I'm gonna get to yours real soon. I'm gonna get to yours at the end. Okay, so don't worry, I'm gonna get to that. Wavy, what you got? Piggyback from last week. Big DBZ fan, but I've been watching Naruto and it definitely got more substance than DBZ in my opinion. It's not an opinion, it's a fact. It's a fact. And this is the thing, this is the hard pill I need Dragon Ball Z fans to swallow. Now again, I am a Dragon Ball Z fan, okay? Y'all don't think I tried to turn Super Saiyan when I was a kid? You don't think I tried to do that? Okay. I didn't have the hair, but dang it, I tried. Either way, Piccolo was my boy anyway. That was, y'all know, Piccolo was black. I don't care what nobody say. That man was black. He was a black Namekian. Okay. But anyway, yes, it does have more substance. And yes, it is deeper. So you're right. I concur. Anyway, let's move on. Okay, we can talk about this real quick. So we will be talking about actually, yeah, we can do this now. I'll do this now. So the Dune director, Denis Villeneuve, he had basically he's in the news right now. He's got Dune Part Two out. And of course, he's doing a lot of interviews and things of that nature. Of course, I will be sharing my Dune Part Two review a little bit later. But Denis had a couple thoughts that I thought were kind of interesting, and a lot of it had to do, part of his interview had to do with his approach to filmmaking, and he's basically creating a certain beef between movies and TV, which I thought was kind of interesting. So I wanted to just kind of go over this real quick and kind of get y'all take on what he had to say as well. So he said here, frankly, let's see. Oh, this is it first. He had told the London Times that movies have been corrupted by television. Whoa. So now this comes from his desire of making a movie without any dialogue. He said, frankly, I hate dialogue. Dialogue is for theater and television. I don't remember movies because of a good line. I remember movies because of a strong image. I'm not interested in dialogue at all. Pure image and sound. That is the power of cinema. But it is something not obvious when you watch movies today. Movies have been corrupted by television. These some bold statements, bro. These some bold statements that movies have been corrupted by television. Are you serious? I mean, now I'll give him a little credit. I'll give him a little credit. You do have some movies that have little to no dialogue that I think work. I know some people don't like it, but I like No One Can Save You, the Alien movie. You know, the ending was terrible, but I like that. And they had like 6 lines. You have something like Wall-E, you know, where there is little to no dialogue. But I think one of the better ones, and I don't know if it counts as dialogue or not, but I like Mel Gibson's Apocalypto. I thought that worked very well. But I have to push back a little bit. I got to push back on this issue of, you know, no dialogue. Like, you don't, movies are not that don't affect movies at all. Are you serious? I mean, may the force be with you. You don't know what Luke, I am your father. You know, like for my old heads, frankly, dear, I just don't give a damn. You know, Gone with the Wind. What else? What's some other ones here? Yeah, I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse. You know, come on now. What you're gonna need a bigger boat. Like, listen, I already told y'all one of my favorites, Sam Jackson. Yes, they deserve to die, and I hope they burn in hell. Terminator, I'll be back. Like, you mean to tell me life is like a box of chocolates? You never know what you're gonna get. You don't know what movie that's from? You can't handle the truth? How is dialogue not going to be the case? What the hell is going on between the sheets in my home? Baby, wait, let me explain before you start to point your case. Man, sorry, that's okay. Sorry, that wasn't. Look, I got a little carried away. I know that was music. I know some of y'all know that. But you get my point, okay? You get my point. Dialogue is just as important to great visuals. Okay, just it's important too now. Okay, just saying. Like, why you? What TV got to do with this? How he gonna drag TV into this? Like, TV was minding its own business. You know, we was watching Game of Thrones, The Wire, and all of that stuff. What? Come on now. You know, girl, I'm about to have a fit. Oh, it's about to be some. Listen, stop typing these things. Okay, stop. You already got me off track one time, okay? And I know that's contagious. You know, it's contagious. No, but I do have a little bit of an issue with that. Now, here's the thing. The dialogue can be important, and it's a little ironic that he's saying this because this is the guy that's making Dune. And Dune, well, I'll get to it in my review, but it needs some dialogue. Like, it needs some help, you know, in certain areas. So anyway, what else y'all say? Yippee-ki-yay, mother. Come on now. Listen, sometimes it'd be like, listen, when I was a kid, I could tell you smoking, you know. All righty then. Like, people knew what you was talking about. You know, insert Jim Carrey movie here. Like, you know, what do you I don't know, man. I don't know. My man is My man tripping, bro. Like, I don't know why how you a filmmaker and you hate dialogue. I just don't get it. Now, if you're not a good writer, that's okay. But I'm just saying, bro, dialogue works too. Y'all dropping some good ones. If it bleeds, we can kill. Huh, get to the chopper. What? We're talking about some classics. Oh, we're gonna be here all day. I'm sorry, we're gonna be here all day. Oh man, y'all got me going. I'm gonna have to come back and read these later because we got too many. It's too many. Here's Johnny. Come on. Oh, see, this is how you know you a movie buff. This is how you know you love movies. Okay. So he goes on to say, in a perfect world, I'd make a compelling movie that doesn't feel like an experiment, but does not have a single word in it either. People leave the cinema and say, wait, there was no dialogue, but they won't feel the lack. All right, man. Go ahead. Hey, go do that. Didn't go do that. Go make your movie. Leave us that like dialogue alone. Stop throwing strays at words. Why are you throwing strays at words? I don't understand. What did we do? Didn't nobody mess with you? Go make your movies however you like. Don't blame TV. We can't have both. Jeez. Anywho, y'all let me know. What are your favorite lines of dialogue? Because y'all already added some great ones in the live chat. Replay game, whoever is watching, please let me know what your favorite lines are, memorable quotes, whatever. Or do you agree with him? Do you agree with Denis that maybe dialogue's a little overrated? You know, maybe some of y'all need to pay more attention to the screen and stop trying to listen for stuff. You know, yes, he calling some of y'all out. Some of y'all that be on your phone while the movie's playing and not paying attention. He talking to y'all. Okay. He talking to y'all. That's who he talking. He ain't talking to me. I mean, I do be on my phone too, but still, whatever you think, let me know in the comments down below. I'm Batman. Come on now. What? Man, we got so much. Come on now. Man, let's see. Let's see what you got, Jan. Man, it's been a long week working in the DC area on the brink of government shutdown. It's nuts. Piccolo was blacking. Yes, I think we all tried to go Super Saiyan. Always glad to tune into the live. JN, thank you, brother, so much. I appreciate you for that. And of course, we all tried to go Super Saiyan at some point. Shoot, 6 episodes of straight yelling, power ups. Come on now. Let's see. Can they beat me? Naruto's too emo. I want epicness, not a soap opera. I would take that, and I hear you. I totally hear you. And I guess you're not being impartial with the Goku, logo too. I will take an emo Naruto over Goku taking 20 episodes to get somewhere. Y'all remember the Planet Namek? The Namek arc? We sat there. Frieza was out here whooping everybody. Ginyu Force was out here whooping everybody. And what was Goku doing? In a whole spaceship, sleep, blowing bubbles. I'll take the soap opera over that. Can we at least get the main character in the show? Can we at least get my man in the action? Do I have to wait 5 weeks just to see the main character show up once? Just saying. Now listen, I don't care how big of a DBZ fan you are. You cannot deny they used to milk the mess out of Goku showing up or Goku powering up, or they used to milk that next time on DBZ. Come on now. You know this to be true. Sitting here wasting our time. I already graduated the 4th grade to 5th grade before Goku threw a punch. Come on now. Now I waited. I still waited to see it. Let's see. JM, what you got? Villeneuve, stop off the weed, sir. Dialogue leads to critical thinking. We need that in society. Great movie moments. Shout out to the OG Ron Isley. Yes, indeed. Shout out to the brothers, indeed. Yeah, listen, I mean, I feel like I think you can do both, right? Like, I don't know if we could ever have a movie that's just straight dialogue and no visuals. I like them both. I like all of that together. I like a movie with strong visuals and strong, dialogue. I mean, that's the way we kind of go through life. Most of us go through life with dialogue happening every day, So, now again, it's not impossible to make a movie with no dialogue, but I think that there's value in it. Tim, you want the truth? You can't handle the truth. Absolutely. Great line. Just great. I'll say that, Tony, for a little later. JN, hey auntie. Subtle, but was a moment. Show was. Listen, yes, it was. Yes, I'm gonna leave it at that. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Let's see. Frigga, what you got? Hey man and fam. Favorite line. Troy, take your leather wearing in the summertime. Blank. Need a shower stink. Blink. Home. I'm not going. Waiting to exhale. Listen. Pow! That fight. Listen, now that was great imagery too. Right? Like when Queen Mother set that fight, boy. Pow! Woo! Listen. That man. Swoop, 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 man, I haven't seen Waiting to Exhale in a long time. Not in a long time. Thank you so much for that. Let's see. What is it? Did you order the code red? I don't know what you're talking about. What is the code red? Is that I don't know what that is. Help me out with that. I don't know what that is. But thank you so much. Let's see. Can they beat me? If he dies, he dies. Come on now. Straight classic. Straight classic. Classic. Oh, yes. Oh man, I'm telling y'all we could be here all day with these. I'm telling y'all we could be here for all day. For my peoples, that 5 minute and Goku's arrival were filler. But Naruto is the king of filler, including entire filler arcs. I agree with that. I've admitted that one of the biggest knocks against Naruto is the filler arcs that serve little to no purpose. Completely skip over them. So we on the same page. I totally agree with that. That is one of my biggest issues with Naruto for sure. All right, let's move on. Let's talk about Godzilla. So I have already told y'all, and shout out to y'all that put me on. Is that from the same thing? I'm thinking, the code. I'm thinking y'all talking about a game or something. Because there's a game coming out called Code Red. I'm like, did I order the Code Red? No, I didn't order the Code Red. My bad. Sorry about that. All right. Godzilla. So shout out to y'all once again for putting your boy on Godzilla -1. I remember that I was not checking for it. I remember that it was a friend of mine that basically talked me into going to go see it as well. And I was just like, you know what? Let's go do it. And we saw it in IMAX, and it was one of the best movies I had seen that whole year. So Godzilla -1, I already put my review up and all of that. So yes. That was a fantastic film. Now, the question was, well, if we have this Godzilla -1, are we going to get some more? And I'm like, you know what? I don't think I'd mind more. So the director for it, I don't want to butcher his name, but Takashi, I know it's Takashi. He actually weighed in on whether a sequel could happen or not. So I wanted to share some of it. Now, I'm gonna try and avoid some of the spoilers just in case if anybody still hasn't seen Godzilla -1. But he did weigh in on what a sequel might look like. So he goes on here and says that I would certainly like to see what the sequel would look like. I know that Shikishama's war seems over. I think that's him right here. And we've reached this state of peace and calm, but perhaps it's the calm before the storm, and the characters have not yet been forgiven for what has been imposed upon them. He goes on to say, I don't know that anyone has pulled off a more serious tone of kaiju versus kaiju with human drama, and that challenge is something I'd like to explore. Now, let me just tell you, that is definitely something I have had concerns with. I've told y'all this many times as well, that when it comes to these big kaiju monster type of thing, I'm only here for the monsters. I don't care about all these human dramas. But at the same time, Godzilla minus one did it perfectly. Like they did um the human drama really, really well. But he's kind of got me here with this whole calm before the storm thing. Now, if you've seen the end of Godzilla minus one, then you know, hey, who knows what could happen? I'll just say that. Who knows what could happen? But he does go on to say a little bit more here. When you have movies that feature kaiju battles, I think it's very easy to put the spotlight and the camera on the massive spectacle, and it detaches itself from the human drama component. And he goes on explaining that he would need to make sure that the human drama and whatever's happening between the kaiju both have meaning and both are able to affect one another in terms of plot development. This sounds like, if you read between the lines, it sounds like my man is talking about a potential sequel with another kaiju. So, my question for y'all, what other monster do you think um Godzilla should fight? What other monster do you think he should fight in a potential sequel that would make it worth it? Now I got a couple. I got a couple. Now, one, I've told y'all this before. If any director wants to make a sequel to something, I hope it comes from an organic place and not just because the movie made a lot of money, which I believe it did. But I do think that if they make a sequel, I trust Takashi to do this because he did a great job with minus one. So, and the fact that it's even on his mind that he's willing to find a balance and do these things the right way, I like that. So, there is one, I think one easy one. I got four potential monsters that Godzilla could face. I got four of them. And I think the first easy one would be what's his name? Ghidorah. Ghidorah, the three-headed one. I think that's an easy fight right there. Like this is like his Joker. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't, this is like the Batman to the Joker. I mean, you got to have him in there, right? So I would not mind if they did that. Now I know that you can do maybe Mecha Godzilla, the hold on, let me get that. The Mecha Godzilla where it's kind of like a robot. I feel like that'll be kind of whack. I've never really liked Mecha Godzilla. I never really liked the idea of Mecha Godzilla. So excuse me. That's not someone that I would want to see, but I could see them wanting to do that. I'm trying to think of what would be the most common sense progression given where Godzilla minus one left off. And then there was another one. Now I was thinking Mothra, but I forgot that Mothra is not a villain per se. I know Mothra went against Godzilla here and there, but there was actually a villain moth or whatever, and I believe it was Batra or whatever. So Batra was kind of like an evil version of Mothra. So maybe that could be it, right? So that's three. What else? I owe y'all one more. So here's my other thing. And I kind of wish that Hollywood would take a look at this. If we're going to get a Godzilla sequel, and the director has already come out and basically teased this idea. Yes, we could have Ghidorah. Yes, we could do Mecha Godzilla. We could do Batra. We could do all these other different things. I would put a challenge out there that I think it's time that we actually just get an original monster. Why don't we get an original creation for Godzilla to fight against? And maybe this is a creature born from the post Godzilla world, mutated by radiation or pollution, and just representing the unintended consequences of human actions. I think that'd be pretty cool. Like, if we could actually get something we ain't never seen before, just do that. So I don't know. You guys let me know. Would you want to see maybe some of the old school classic monsters? Or would you like to see maybe some Godzilla go against somebody or something new? Whatever you think, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. All right, what do we got? Am I the baddest mofo low down around this town? Sure enough. Classic. Yeah, so a few good men. So like I said, that was my bad. I was thinking of a video game. That was something else I was thinking of. But thank you guys. Thank you, Derek, and thank you, Sheed, keeping me honest there. Keep me on my toes. I appreciate y'all. Oh, what a clap. Oh, they call me Mr. Tibbs. Ooh, Sidney Poitier. Ooh, that was a slap her around the world. When a black man slapped a white man in the early, what was that? What was that? 40s, 50s? I don't know. Whenever that was, listen, classic, Mr. Tibbs. Thank you so much for that. Let's see. Frigga, good stuff. I will give my son Loki his due. I am Loki of Asgard, and I am burdened with glorious purpose. Woo! Yes, you are, son. Listen, Loki was dropping them dimes now. Loki was out here dropping them dimes. Woo! Man was out here just spitting bars like it was magic. Frigga back at it. Mecha Godzilla. You mean Grimlock? I don't know. I don't know. Is that what they call him now? I don't know. I never paid attention to Mecha Godzilla. Never really cared. But whatever. Either way, thank you for that. Appreciate you for that for sure. Tony, don't you worry. I'm gonna keep that as well. We will get to that a little bit later. So hold those thoughts. All right. Let's see. Oh, I got a Star Wars thing for y'all. I got two for you, Tony. So hold on. All right. Let's talk about Star Wars. One of the most memorable, if not maybe iconic moments in Star Wars, besides Luke, I'm your father, besides, the battles and all that stuff, right? I think that one of the more iconic moments was when Anakin Skywalker had to do what he did when he turned on the younglings. And it wasn't funny at the time, because at that time when we was kind of learning more about Anakin, we didn't know how far on the dark side he was gonna go. But when he looked at them younglings, that was a whole nother level that we didn't see coming. So Hayden Christensen actually was doing this interview with Empire Magazine, and he gave a little bit of behind the scenes talk about what happened during that scene, right? So here's where he was talking about Anakin killing the younglings, in that big moment. He said here, this was his interaction with the little kid. He said the kids seem to forget about that scene, or kids seem to forget about that scene when they meet me. There's not any fear or intimidation. They're just excited to meet Anakin. There was a lot of talk about us doing that scene, and I love that George Lucas did it. It was a bold move, and it's shocking. When we were filming that, we were having a hard time getting the reaction that we wanted from the kid. And so I shouted and growled at him because he needed a genuine moment of him being startled. It got the response that we needed, and it makes that scene work really well. That poor kid, though, says the interviewer. Yeah, I saw him years later. I said, sorry about how that went. Damn, Anakin. Word. You was out here yelling at little kids for real? And in case anybody forgot, that yelling and growling, that's where that face came from. This iconic little face from this little kid. This is where it came from. From him growling and yelling at him. Listen, I don't know how I feel about that. But that's kind of funny to me. I just thought it was kind of funny that he actually had to go semi-method acting on this little kid. Y'all couldn't just find no other kid that looked scared? Y'all could look at his face. They scared him so bad. He was like, huh? Mr. Hayden, what are you talking about? You going what? Why? What are you doing with that lightsaber, Mr. Hayden? Poor kid. Poor kid. Anyway, I just thought that was funny. But y'all let me know, how do you feel about Anakin really tapping into the dark side? Golly, dude. Whatever you think, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Let's go move on. We got yeah. Okay, so y'all probably heard of this. Liam Neeson. Liam Neeson has a new movie coming out. It is going to be a remake of a classic. But in case y'all did not know, Liam Neeson is probably best known for a lot of his action movies. Probably more famous than any of them is the Taken series. Come on now, another classic with some dialogue. I don't know who you are, but I'm a man with a particular set of skills, and I'm a nightmare for guys like you. You know, good luck. I mean, come on now. Talk about one of the best phone speeches we've heard on television. Okay, but like, yes, Liam Neeson has been that guy. The one thing you never want to do to this guy, like, he is clearly the prototype to John Wick. Like, whatever John Wick is now, this would, like, Liam Neeson had to crawl to make John Wick what he is today. You know, you just don't mess with this guy's fictional family and don't kidnap nobody, and you'll be all right with Liam Neeson, you know. But anyway, he's going to be doing a remake for a new film here. And you know, it's got people feeling a certain kind of way. So it says here that Naked Gun, the reboot, is going to be starring Liam Neeson, and it is set for next year. So July 18th, 2025. Akiva Schaffer was going to direct, and Akiva was the one that was responsible for the Chippendale Rescue Rangers, and Seth MacFarlane is going to be producing. Now, in case you didn't recall, Seth MacFarlane is the one, who's been in charge of Family Guy. So you got some comedy chops here, you know, all in the works. Now, listen, this is kind of strange because, you know, Leslie Nielsen did the Naked Gun series. Now, this was like in the 90s, I want to say, maybe late 80s. This was coming off of Police Academy and all of that. And, you know, at the time, Naked Gun worked very well, you know, because it was poking fun of other police drama movies at the time. So, like, it was almost like how not another, you know, scary movie, or, you know, Scary Movie, how Scary Movie was making fun of all the, you know, I Know What You Did Last Summer, the Scream movies, because it was making fun of a current trend at that time. So for me, I'm like, if you're gonna reboot Naked Gun, what are you making fun of? You know, like, I don't see how that makes sense to, like, you know, make a parody of something that hasn't even really been a thing for the last 20, 30 years. Like, we haven't had those type of movies where you can make a parody or spoof like that. So I'm kind of wondering, though, I like the idea that the Chippendales guy is involved. Because if you saw Chippendale, yeah, if you saw the Rescue Rangers, um, they were pretty smart. It was actually a pretty smart movie. I actually enjoyed that movie because that's when they brought back Ugly Sonic. And that was a really funny moment in the film, right? So I trust a little bit of the comedic timing and thought process behind those, doing this project. And I also trust Seth MacFarlane. Seth MacFarlane, like I said, not only has he given us Family Guy, but he's also given us Ted. And I don't know if y'all remember, because some people might be like, yo, Liam ain't he's not funny. Actually, he kind of is. I was gonna play the clip for y'all, but make sure y'all go look up Ted. If y'all forgetting Ted, Liam did a little quick cameo in Ted, and he was pretty funny. So it depends, I think, to make this work. If they're doing this Naked Gun, personally, I think they shouldn't even call it Naked Gun. I think they should. I would, if I were them, the best thing that they can make fun of now would be either superhero movies, kind of like how what was it, Spaceballs, how that made fun of Star Wars at that time. You could make fun of superhero movies, but I feel like The Boys is doing that. You could definitely make fun of Fast and the Furious. That definitely can use some, poking fun at. Or you could poke fun at action flicks like John Wick. Like make a series of like John Wick wannabes, spinoffs. Like that could work because that gives us something to draw on, something that's tired and played out, or something that we've seen that we can call back to. But I'm just a little worried that if you're gonna make this reboot or this remake of something that only people over the age of 35 to 40 are going to recall, that don't sound like a good recipe for success. But I don't know. You guys let me know. Is this something that you are interested in? Like I said, Liam has done a little comedy. It's not like he acts goofy. Funny stuff happens around him, or he will deliver funny lines. So I'm not surprised that they would pick him, but I don't know. You guys let me know. Is this something that you will watch if it comes out? Do you need to see a trailer first? Whatever you think. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. All right. Omar, Godzilla needs some humbling. He was a jerk in the film. Listen, he wasn't a jerk. He was a menace. Godzilla was a whole menace. My man just woke up and just was like, I'm gonna stomp a couple cities today. Like, he was a problem. He was a problem. Thank you so much. For my peoples, can't front. He was funny in that Ted cameo. That's what I'm saying. It was a great cameo. It's like he didn't even try. He didn't even try. So yeah, I'll take that. Poor man, the retired assassin genre, Taken, Equalizer, Born, and yes, superheroes. Yes. That, like, he could literally make fun of himself. Taken. He could just make fun of himself. I'll take that. I'll take those as, the spoofs that we get that we're making fun of over all the other stuff. I'll take that. All right. Let's move on. We got a quick thing here. Spider-Man. 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 I don't know about y'all, but listen. We talked about how X-Men 97, that show was phenomenal. That was the show I grew up with. But man, right after X-Men came on, or before, I don't know, Spider-Man, the animated series was a thing. And boy, when I tell you, that was everything for me. I love Spider-Man, the animated series. So, because of the news that X-Men 97, keep in mind, Marvel Studios, they bought out Fox, or I'm sorry, Disney bought out Fox. So all of those rights kind of come back. And by the way, Marvel has the rights to the animated Spider-Man stuff, or Disney does. So this isn't a Sony situation. If they want to make Spider-Man animated, they can do that. Okay, so Marvel Studios, Disney, they could do that if they wanted to. But so the question came up was like, yo, if we get an X-Men 97, can we go ahead and get X-Men 98? Like, or Spider-Man 98, can that happen as well? So the creator of this, John Sempter, he actually weighed in on this, and he gave his thoughts on whether or not this could happen. And he says Spider-Man the animated series head writer John Semper Jr. wants to continue the show just like X-Men 97. Says all they got to do is call me, bruh. That's it. Well, Disney, what y'all waiting on? Call them up, because I would love to see a continuation of Spider-Man the animated series. I mean, before I really started to read comics, Spider-Man the animated series started to open up my eyes to how many other things crossed over. Because, like, if you watched it, I think they had a Secret Wars episode in there. I remember the Punisher came in there, the X-Men came. I was like, wait a minute, y'all can do that? Like, it was amazing, And by the way, you also had Madam Web. Madam Web, and I didn't know this. I thought she was introduced in the comics. I was wrong about that. Apparently, Madam Web was introduced in the animated series, and then, was taken off later by Dan Slott, I want to say. So that also brought in another point of question here. And this was from the same creator from the animated series. And he had a little bit of beef. Okay, because we already seen Madam Web was out there. We've seen the Spider-Verse out there. We've seen all this stuff. My man, he felt some kind of way about this, because he says here he's calling out that he has never been credited on the Spider-Verse films for creating the concept. He says, even though you've never seen fit to thank me in your credits, you're welcome anyway. That's right. The guy that gave you the Spider-Man animated show, the series, this is where we got the concept of the Spider-Verse, the universe with all the Spider-Men. We would never have this if it was not for the cartoon. Look at my man right there, Scarlet Spider right there in the middle. That was my favorite Spider-Man right there. Scarlet Spider, boy, man. If I was in shape, I'd dress up as Scarlet Spider-Man for real. Love that suit. But my man was like, yo, where my thanks at? Now, here's my only pushback. Sir, where you been for like the past 6 years? Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse came out in like 2018, if I'm not mistaken. That was a while ago. That was 6 years ago. Why are we just not hearing you now after the second movie came out and after Madam Web came out? Where was you then? Like, bro, I'm just saying, had you said something earlier, maybe, people could have been saying something. Maybe we could have been news or something like that. How you going to be 6 years late? I'm just saying. You knew this stuff was coming out. Anyway. Either way, I hope that we get this. I hope that Disney does actually consider bringing back Spider-Man. I really enjoyed the show, and I believe you can watch it on Disney Plus right now, the original series. But I think a continuation will be amazing, especially since Marvel does have a partnership with Sony and stuff. Just make it a multiverse thing or make it its own thing, whatever. Anyway, y'all let me know. Would you like to see a continuation of Spider-Man animated series? Would you like to see Disney, pick it up and get that ball rolling again? Or maybe leave well enough alone? Whatever you think, let me know in the comments down below. All right. Frigga, what you got? I love that Spider-Man series. Also, Peter Parker's dad jeans was quite a look for such a young man. Listen, my man was looking like a straight up street preacher, youth pastor with them jeans. Them jeans was not complimentary at all. They were not. I remember going back to watching. I was like, bro, sweater either. How you gonna have the same sweater every episode? Like, bro, if you don't get like a hoodie or something, you ain't got no t-shirt, nothing. Just the same old weird 1980s looking sweater. Yeah. Anyway, Nelson, what you got? Would be great to see Spider-Man 98 so Peter can finally can find Mary Jane in a separate series or in X-Men 97. These two series were my intro to Marvel. Yes, it would be great. I'd totally welcome that. I think that'd be fantastic. And yeah, maybe did they get married? I don't think they got married. That'd be nice if they got married too. Thank you so much. Didier, aren't they doing a Spider-Man year one series? They are that. I don't know where that's gonna go. That's more so continuing the Tom Holland thing. So we'll see. We'll see how they're going. But you're right. Yeah, they are doing. I almost forgot all about that. Like, I haven't seen any news. I haven't seen no updates about it. Like, they was just like, we're doing it. Okay, bye. And that was it. But animation takes a while, so I don't know. We'll see. All right. Let's move on. Let's go back. Way back. Back to Marvel. Let me get this real quick. All right. Okay. So Dave Bautista. You guys know him well, probably as the wrestler. And now as Drax. But listen, my man Dave Bautista has been doing some great work. This guy has gone from Dave Bautista has gone from being a professional wrestler to getting into acting. It was a little rough at first, but man, the more this guy jumps into the profession, the better he's gotten. I would argue, and I think some people would agree, Dave Bautista is probably the greatest wrestler turned actor to date right now. Sorry, Rock. Sorry, John Cena. But my man has been putting in the work. You see the roles that he takes. He diversifies himself. He stretches. He becomes more vulnerable. He actually becomes way more believable. I mean, I really enjoyed him in that M. Night Shyamalan movie. I really enjoyed him in Dune Part 1 and Part 2. He's doing some really good work, you know. So now the question was, and as we know from volume 3 of Guardians of the Galaxy, he's done, right? Like, that was it for his character Drax. He's already basically said, I'm good on this. But now the question was asked, would he ever come back? Listen, there's a whole multiverse available. There's a lot of different things that could happen. Would he ever want to come back to Marvel? So he does talk about that in this interview. He says, when I said I was done, I was really just done with my journey as Drax. I still have a relationship with Marvel. I've seen Kevin Feige again, Lou Esposito, as recently as 2 weeks ago. And they know that I would be up for a role. I love the universe, the superhero universe. I love it. I'm a fan. So Marvel or DC, if they call, I would answer the phone. And if the role makes sense, I'd be all over it. I would just like the opportunity to do a bigger role, a different role, maybe a deeper role. I'd love to have the opportunity to play like an ominous villain in the superhero universe. I'm not done with it, but my journey as with Drax is over. I respect that. I respect that. Now, let me just say, I didn't like what they did with him as Drax. I thought that they wasted his character. And that's on James Gunn too. But the character, I already told y'all, I liked where he was going in the first volume 1, but volume 2, he got way too silly, and way too goofy. I didn't like that. And even volume 3, just he got a little better, but Drax is actually a good character, and if you know his story, it's pretty deep. It's pretty deep. So I think that was a missed opportunity for them, right? But I did want to bring up a couple potential Marvel roles. Now, here's the thing: if he goes to DC, I think the easiest role he could play a guy that size, you got to be Bane. You have to play Bane. I thought he would have been a good Bane when even Tom Hardy, like if they listen, I know that was early in the career, but I'm just saying, when I look at Dave Bautista, I'm like, bro, you do kind of look like Bane, like he could he could do it, But anyway, um, but I want to kind of go over a couple of potential Marvel roles that I think could potentially work for Dave Bautista, but I think it's also important to hear what he likes and what he doesn't like, to really find out what the best role would be for him. One thing that I know he had talked about when he was playing Drax was like, he don't want no more nipples, no more nipples. Like he don't want his nipples out there. I guess the makeup and all that stuff was chafing. I don't know, but he don't want no nipples showing and nothing like that. So okay, you know what I'm saying? Maybe my man gonna have to wear a shirt. Fine, and that's cool because to me, I don't like the idea of burdening old, actors as they get older to keep trying to stay in a ridiculous, crazy shape. Like it's too much pressure and it's not needed, right? Um, Now, what else did he say? So he also said he wanted something more dramatic. So we need a character that has a decent background or at least a good bit of role, drama behind them. He doesn't want it to be a silly character. Okay, so it's got to be a serious character. And what else did he say? Oh, he said something else here. Um, when it came to Drax, he said, it wasn't all pleasant. It was hard playing that role. The makeup process was beating me down, and I just don't know if I want Drax to be my legacy. It's a silly performance. See, there you go. And I want to do more dramatic stuff. And he also shared pretty much what I was saying here. I really wish that they would have invested more in Drax because I think Drax has a story to tell. I think Drax has a really interesting backstory, which they dropped the ball on. Could not agree more. So I got a couple characters here that I think would be perfect for him. Let me pull this up so y'all can see a couple of them. So I don't know if he would want to do this or not, because this would probably take some makeup, but man, would he have the size and ability to do it. I think that if he again, we're thinking not silly, right? Um, More dramatic, and he wants to be a villain. He wants to be a villain. All right. I think Sabretooth would be great for him. That based off of what I've seen him do in Dune, I think he could be a pretty solid Sabretooth. We've seen a couple different depictions of Sabretooth. Shout out to Liev Schreiber as well. But man, this right here would really force Batista to really expand his acting chops because you got to play a psycho. You have to play somebody who's sinister. No pun intended with Mr. Sinister. But Sabretooth is a problem. Sabretooth is a walking headache. Not even a headache. Like he's a nightmare. Especially if y'all been reading the comics lately. Oh my god. Oh my god. So you have that. Now, I don't know if they want to go this deep with it, but this could be another one that they could do. Now, it's going to be a little bit of a stretch for him, but maybe he might have to audition for this. He might have to audition if he were to play Null. For those of y'all that don't know, Null is basically the guy who is the god of the symbiotes. He is the one that Venom, Carnage, yeah, they all come from him. Okay. Null is that guy. Okay. That sword that he got, that's where Gore the God Butcher got all that stuff from. So Null could be that one villain that maybe, now you're gonna have to put him in a wig and some more makeup, but maybe he could do it. Maybe. Now I got this other one that I want to run by y'all. And this one is a little different. It's a little non-traditional. And I know Marvel might want to go with a younger actor, but I thought that they could potentially play around with this. Because Marvel doesn't stick to the comics anyway. And that would be Thane. For those of y'all that don't know, Thane is the son of Thanos. And he was driven by like a deep hatred for his father and a desire to see the universe like end. And he had this power that could drain the life force out of other people. And I'm just sitting here thinking it would be kind of interesting if the guy who was hell-bent on killing Thanos ended up playing the son of Thanos. Now, he does not look the part. I fully admit that. But I was just like, maybe if they want to remix it. Now, here's the one. There's one other role that I think if Dave Bautista really, really wants to expand his acting chops, if he doesn't mind some makeup, because I'm sorry, you're a Marvel, bro. Like you got to get into makeup eventually. And I'm only talking about Marvel right now. I think he could make a great Apocalypse. I mean, first of all, look at Apocalypse. Look at Apocalypse. Apocalypse is a huge freaking problem. And if you're talking about an ominous villain, if you're talking about somebody who is going to need an actor that really has some talent, this right here could do it. This could do it. And this was Oscar Isaac. This was Oscar Isaac doing it. So I definitely think Dave Bautista could do this. I think that could work. But I don't know, guys. Y'all let me know. Who do you think Dave Bautista should play if he were to be in a Marvel role, right? Because he was talking about Marvel. Now, for DC, like I said, I think Bane would be great. I know some people were, I see some people were saying Solomon Grundy. You don't really need to act as Solomon Grundy. I mean, my man literally says like one poem, Solomon Grundy, born on a Monday. Like that's it. There ain't no real acting with that. Swamp Thing. Does he maybe Swamp Thing? I don't know. But anyway, what role in DC or Marvel would you think Dave Bautista would make a perfect fit for? Whatever you think, let me know in the comments down below. All right. Nelson. Ooh, I could see him as Darkseid. Darkseid would be interesting. I could see Darkseid as well. Darkseid and Apocalypse to me are like two sides of the same coin. Like whoever plays one could play the other. But I like that. Darkseid would be good. Thank you for that. All right, let's do this real quick. I have to give a shout out to my first introduction to anime. Battle of the Planets was an epic show for me. When they turned into the fiery phoenix, it was over for any villains they face. I will give that to you, Famous J. I don't know what you're talking about. I never seen that. It sounds like maybe some spaceship Gundam stuff. Maybe, I don't know. I never really watched those. But I'm glad that was a very good, positive, memory for you. Good stuff. Frigga, Apocalypse is native Egyptian. He needs to be black. So, I think that's a good point. I think that if he's going to be in makeup, you can do that for his human form, like, before he like turns. I think that would work, right? Like you could, if you want to have him black, brown, whatever, do that. But the Apocalypse after, I think Batista can do that. I don't think that because the person's going to be under makeup anyway, so I think that you can have both by having them be early. And yeah, Marvel's not going to they're not going to make him black. They won't do that. Abin Sur, they're going to go find a Middle Eastern brown skinned person at best. And let's just you'll be lucky. I think you'll be lucky if they make him brown. I think you'll be lucky with that. Um, and they'll do that. But I think at the end of the day, if you're gonna be under makeup, it don't matter what your skin color is at that point. Um, and yeah, my man, y'all see Apocalypse, got the blue lip liner and the ashy face, like, he's just a blue guy. That's all. But anyway, let's see. Thank you for that, by the way. Uh Devontae, what you got? He could totally do William Stryker for Marvel. Sure, sure. Yeah, I mean, I don't see William Stryker as being like a bigger role, but he could totally do it. There's not a lot to that. Yes, that could work. That totally can work. All right, so let's move on to DC, where we have a bunch of Superman Legacy updates. Um, as you know, Superman Legacy is going to be the very first live action movie for the DCU. This is James Gunn's baby. This is his very first project that he is directing and writing for the DCU. This is what's really going to kick it off, right? Now, I've already told y'all that I don't believe that Superman is going to make or break the DCU. Whether it's received well or not, I don't think it's going to matter. I think what will matter is going to be Batman. It's going to be Batman Brave and the Bold. So whatever James Gunn is doing, don't mess it up. Don't pull a Morbius, and I don't think he's a talented filmmaker, so I don't think he's going to do that. But the real key, I think, is going to be Batman. But that does not mean that all heads are still not going to be turned and looking at what this does, because the important thing that Superman Legacy is going to do is create the tone. It's going to set the platform on what people can expect in the next 5-10 years or whatever with the DCU. So we just got the first set photo. This was the cast, kind of, you see Peter Safran here. I forget that he's gonna play Metamorpho. That's Jimmy Olsen, Lois Lane. You got the Green Lantern. You got my man Mr. Terrific. You got Soups back there in the background. You got bald headed Lex. You got all these people. They go James Gunn and Peter Safran and all that. I don't know their names. I don't know these girls' names. Anyway, so James Gunn also revealed that this movie is no longer going to be called Superman Legacy. Yes, that's right. Now it's just going to be called Superman. So let's go ahead and update that right now. Bam. It is just Superman. Okay. So no more Superman Legacy. That is it. This is what he had to say. When I finished the first draft of the script, I called the film Superman Legacy. By the time I locked the final draft, it was clear the title was Superman. Making our way to you July 2025. So it is now Superman, and I like that. I like the fact that he is going to drop the legacy thing, mainly because this is the start of your new franchise. And I've already told y'all the one thing that they have to do was start from a fresh, clean slate. You got to clear up everything from the DCEU, because unfortunately, you don't have enough public interest to justify to keep that train going. It had to just be stopped. You could not take a sidetrack. You could not derail. You could not, or take a detour. You had to just stop and just get a whole new train. So the fact that they are starting this off as Superman, I think that's perfect. It's easy, right? What you gonna see? Superman. Listen, that's what we was gonna call it anyway. But nobody gonna sit here and say, yeah, mom, dad, can we go see Superman Legacy? Man, we was gonna see that Superman. You gonna see Superman? Yeah, I'm gonna go see Superman. You seeing Superman? We gonna go see Superman. That's fine. Listen, it worked for the Batman. What's that movie called? The Batman. That's it. We don't need nothing fancy. Listen, I'm with it. I am with it. So in addition to the new title drop, we also got our very first look at the Superman suit. And this is where James Gunn showed off the symbol. So you see the S on his chest right here. Now, of course, it's not really a S. Now, that's the only thing I probably have a little issue with. This don't, it don't look like a real S. And I know it's Kryptonian. I know it's not really a S, but still, it should look like a S to me. But you can kind of see it there. I don't know. Can I get to it in that? I don't know. But yeah, so we got our first real look at the new S on the chest. Let's see. Yeah, there's a little bit clearer picture for you guys of what it looks like. So y'all let me know, how do you feel about this new symbol on Superman's chest? Now, here's the thing. When this happened, oh, before we get to that, we do have another update, which I kind of like this. They're still filling out the rest of the cast, and we got Wendell. We got Wendell Pierce, who is now going to be the new Perry White. So he is going to be joining. In case y'all don't remember, Wendell Pierce, perhaps best known for his work as detective on HBO's seminal crime series, The Wire. He is now the iconic editor-in-chief of the Daily Planet. And in case y'all remember, I want to say in Zack Snyder's version, it was Lawrence Fishburne. It was Lawrence Fishburne who played Perry White. So now we got Wendell Pierce. And you know what? I like that because Wendell's actually a really good actor. And he's a really good guy. Like, at least from what I've seen in interviews, seems really cool. So that's pretty cool. But like, going back to the whole symbol thing on his chest, there was a potential leak that happened. Some people were talking about how, of course, there were leaks on set and stuff like that. And there was a leak of what this suit looks like. Now, here's the thing. A lot of people have been very eager to see and hear what the new Superman suit is going to look like. So this leak here, let me make it bigger for you guys so you can see it. All right, there it is. All right, there we go. So that's the leak. That's what leaked out. And people were kind of going a little crazy over this. They was like, yo, James Gunn just showed the new symbol. We see this suit. I mean, my man is looking jacked. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, now listen, Corn Sweat, like, my man's been working out. He's been doing his thing, all good. But real question is, what does James Gunn have to say about this? Because one thing that we know is that James Gunn will call out the fake news. He will call it out, or he'll give it, a stamp of approval. So this supposed set leak, James Gunn did respond. Somebody asked him, like, hey, is this true? People are saying it's real. Some are saying it's fake. Can you confirm? So that's the whole thing. Now look at the image. Okay, y'all look at the image a little closer. Y'all tell me, do you believe it? What do you think? Y'all let me know. What do you think? And James Gunn was like, man, come on. And he was like, look, that looks like a real photo to you? So James Gunn is calling this into question. He said, he's like, yo, I don't know about this. Now, here's the thing. James Gunn went on, because I guess this really got under his skin. And he was like, let's see. Can the man on the left take a photo holding an amorphous black blob while looking through an eyeball of the front of his cap? Can the man on the right's torso grow out of his right hip? And can he be stupid enough to wear his pants with the drawstring in the back? Are David Cornsweat's hands made of wax without any bones or veins? And might Superman's trunks be knitted with yarn? Ask yourself these questions, and I'm certain you'll be able to answer the question on your own. Ha! Ha! Well, James Gunn is kind of like, this does look like a drawstring. Like, what is going on right here? What is this? What is it? And what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? What's going on over here? Is it what are you, you know, what are you taking a picture of? So yeah, these hands do look a little too smooth. So I don't know. It sounds like James Gunn is like, yo, cap on all of this. All of this. So he's saying that's not the case. Now, here's the thing. Maybe some of it's true. Maybe some of it isn't. I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised if this might be one version of the suit. And maybe some CGI happens with the suit later on. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe James Gunn, because James Gunn don't like people leaking his stuff. So could this be fake? It sounds like it is. Sounds like it is, but I don't know. So y'all let me know. What do you think about this whole thing with James Gunn? Do you think that this suit is fake? Um, are you buying it? Are you not buying it? Whatever you think, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. All right, let's go. Ba, 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 ba. Hold on. Rims, come through. What is going on? Hey, man, and my beloved E fam. Been missing y'all. But in the trenches heavy. Hail up Cherie for me and squeeze the babies. Hope everyone is loving on their special ones because remember, tomorrow is promised to no man. Thank you so much, Rims. Appreciate you. Definitely been thinking about you. Hopefully everything is okay. I haven't really gotten too many updates, and that's cool. Not saying that you have to share anything if you haven't already, but glad to see you back. I know you was holding things down on the home front. But yeah, best wishes to you continuously, with the positive thoughts, prayers, thoughts, and all of that. So thank you so much. Appreciate you always, always, always. Thank you for that. Didier, what you got? Yeah, I know. I know. I almost made the mistake. And here's the thing. Two, here's the thing. In another window, uh, I had a Sam Jackson, the Mace Windu, because they just posted the images. So I was trying to make sure I didn't click on that image. So that's where it was. I was like, oh, yeah. This is what happens when you be live. This is what happens when you be live. But yes, I almost did. But it was because of the Mace Windu stuff. That's why, not just because they're black and they're older guys. That's not it. But yeah, that's it. All right, Tony, we could do this one. This one's relevant. So, would you be fine if James Gunn does a modern Donner Superman film, especially with some of the casting and maybe the John Williams score to it? Because we saw what happened last time in Superman Returns. So, good question. I would not mind it, mainly because I think that James Gunn, because he is a Donner fan, right? Like he's a very, very big Donner fan. But I think James Gunn would be wise enough to modernize it to a point where it's still entertaining. So, are we gonna get like I think like based off of what I hear from James Gunn, he can recognize when certain movies don't work. And you're right. Superman Return tried to be too Donner-ish, right? And I think that, this was when he, if I'm not mistaken, in Superman Returns, he doesn't even throw a punch. He don't fight nobody. So, like, I think James Gunn knows what people want. I think that James Gunn understands the character and the story, which is vital. But I don't think we're going to get a Superman Return from him. I don't think we're going to get that. I think that he is more than uh knowledgeable and aware of being a Superman fan, what did not work with Superman Returns, and I don't think he's going to make that mistake. I think what we will get is the connection that we got from Lois and Clark in the Donner films. So back then, listen, You gotta be a special kind of lady for a man to go spin the world for you. Okay. So I think that that's what maybe James Gunn is going to focus on is their relationship. Because keep in mind, if y'all remember Injustice, Lois and Clark's relationship, that's pivotal. That changes the world. So I think that's what he will lean on. I think that's what he'll focus on. I don't think he's going to make the same mistakes that Superman Returns did. I don't think so. I think he will maybe pull some nostalgic stuff, but I don't think it's going to be, at least I hope not. Like I hope they don't make Lex Luthor similar to Gene Hackman. Like don't give me a more modern version. I don't want Jesse Eisenberg's version. I don't want Gene Hackman's version either. Let those exist in their own time. And we'll just see. But we'll see. But anyway, anything can happen. Maybe he will go full Donner. I hope not, but we'll see. I hope that he makes it in the vision that is distinct and separate to him, you know. JN Superman photo looks a little like Bizarro's suit. Side note, E-Man, you got to check out Aztec Batman Clash of Empires, DC's new animated movie. So I saw the news about it. I didn't know if it came. I don't know if it came out yet or not. I watch all of those things. So whenever those things come out, I watch them anyway. I'm waiting for the Crisis on Infinite Earths Part 2. I think that comes out either late March, maybe early April, something like that. But I'm gonna watch that. Like as soon as it comes out. If it's available now, I'll probably go watch it later. So yeah, I will watch it. Thank you so much. Frigga, is that Superman? Could be not. That's what Mr. said. Yeah, I mean, maybe we'll see. I don't know. We'll see. Thank you so much for that. Let's see, Tyra, what you got? I feel like more studios are gonna have AI leaks to take our temperature on certain things, test the waters before spending real money. That's not a bad idea. It would not surprise me whatsoever. Personally, I would not be shocked if that's why we also hear some of those rumors. Y'all remember when we heard all that talk about this is going to be I don't know, Mr. Reed Richards, or that's going to be this person. Like that could be the case. Matter of fact, it could be some of the agents of the actors that leak the information to help be a negotiating point and be like, see, everybody wants John Krasinski or so, I don't know, whoever to play this role. So that's not a bad idea. I'm not even mad at him. Matter of fact, I would just be like, why don't you just take a poll? Do we need to play these games with the leaks? Just be like, hey, y'all, do y'all want the trunks inside or outside? Hey, y'all, do y'all like this or that? Just what's the worst that could happen outside of some people being mad and some people not? I don't know. I'm just thinking off the cuff. But anyway, thank you so much for that. Appreciate you so much. Tony, what you got? And then Zack Snyder gave us something new and different, and people still complain about it because they had that death grip over Christopher Reeves. Yeah, but that's the nature of something new. Just because something is new does not mean it's automatically received. Something can be new and it can be good or it can be bad. And unfortunately, even though I like, Snyder's version, I like Man of Steel to an extent. It didn't work. It wasn't good enough, so yeah, just because it's new does not mean it's always going to work. But I always give points for anyone trying something new. I'd rather you try something new than to keep on giving us the same old thing. Now, if it ain't broke, you ain't got to fix it. But I'm just saying, I'm always going to entertain something new as well. But thank you so much, Tony. I appreciate you. For my peoples, if we don't get that DBZ style fights, throw it out. Now what are you talking about? Are you talking about for in Superman, or where are you looking for these DBZ style fights? Because to be honest, if you're talking about the fights that happen in Man of Steel, I didn't like those. Like that didn't work for me. When they were moving so fast and you literally couldn't make out what was happening, I'm like, I'm the audience. I paid money to see the fight. I want to see the fight. you know, hit me with a couple slow-mo so I could see the fight. But anyway, um thank you for that for my peoples. All right, we have a Spider-Man 4 potential update, maybe. So we've had a couple conversations here about um Sony, at least these were the rumors that Sony was going to make a Spider-Man 4. We already talked about, obviously, Tom Holland Spider-Man after his trilogy. There's talks that they want to do maybe even a more grounded version with him moving forward, or maybe another multiverse version where they bring back Garfield and the GOAT, Toby Maguire, but who knows, right? We don't know yet. But it looks like there was an interview recently with Thomas Hayden Church. And in case you forgot, he's the one that played Sandman in the Sam Raimi Spider-Man in the early 2000s, mid 2000s. He just recently did an interview. And in the interview, he was talking about, let me pull this picture up here. He was talking about what could happen with Spider-Man 4, or if there is a Spider-Man 4. I don't know. But he did leave something that's got people talking. So let's kind of talk about that. He says here, but Sandman, there's been some rumors that they might ask me to do another Spider-Man, and I do it tomorrow. They've never asked me to show up in another movie, another Marvel film, but I think Sam Raimi is gonna do another Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire. Ooh, the GOAT is coming back. And that's the one, and that's the one that they had an option for me to do Spider-Man 4 when there was going to be a Spider-Man 4. They had an option on me to come back. So if it happens, that'd be fantastic. But I'm getting a little old. All right. I got questions. um Which Spider-Man 4 are we talking about? What are we like? I'm so confused because he's talking about like having Sam Raimi come back and he's gonna do it. Now, here's the thing: there was a rumor that um Tom Rothman, the main guy over there at Sony Pictures, he wanted to go get John Watts back to do Spider-Man 4. And according to the rumor, Marvel wanted a different director. Marvel, they mess with Sam Raimi, right? They gave him Doctor Strange 2. There's some talk that maybe they'll give him Avengers, an Avengers movie too. He did a pretty good job, in that. So maybe they want to bring him back too. Who knows? So I'm just like, which Spider-Man 4 are we talking? Because keep in mind, Sam Raimi did do some of the better Spider-Man movies with Spider-Man and Spider-Man 2 back in the early 2000s. Spider-Man 3, not so much. So is this a continuation from that? Are we doing how many Spider-Man 4s are we going to do? Are we going to have 2 Spider-Man 4s? Now let me be very clear about this. I'm watching both. If y'all make these, I'm going to watch both. I don't care. This is the one thing that, Sony, Marvel, whoever's listening, this is the one thing y'all can give us as many as possible, and I'll be okay with it. I'll sit there and watch a Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. I'll sit there and watch an Andrew Garfield Spider-Man movie. I will watch another Tom Holland Spider-Man movie. I'll watch another Into the Spider-Verse movie. I will watch all the spiders that y'all can give me. You know what I'm not going to watch? Madam Web Part 2. I'm not going to watch Morbius Part 2. That I'm not going to watch. I'm not going to watch these movies based off of Spider-Man with no Spider-Man in them. But I'm going to watch all these Spider-Man movies with Spider-Man in it. Do you get the picture? I'm just saying, do you understand how this works? You put Spider-Man in, you're going to get a cool $800 to $1 billion. You don't? It's Morbin time. It's webbing time. Like what? Come on now. This is easy money. It's easy money. So I have no idea what he's talking about. I don't know if he's talking about a Sam Raimi, Tobey Maguire continuation of that, or if he's talking about a continuation with Tom Holland and maybe there's some multiverse stuff that happens. I don't know. I'm here either way. I'm here either way. And Venom 3, I'm only gonna watch that because I have to as a reviewer, as a critic. That's it. That's not a movie I'm looking forward to watching, like at all. I barely wanted to watch Venom 2. But anyway, y'all let me know. What do you think about what Church had to say here about this? And would you want to see Sandman come back? I thought he was okay in No Way Home. But like, yeah, that would be kind of interesting. What kind of combination would you like to see? Do you want to see two separate Spider-Man 4 movies? Or would you want to see them maybe all together and maybe another multiverse type of deal? Whatever you think, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. All right. Got that. Yep. 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 Oh, we down to the last one. Last one. All right. So, let me get this up here for y'all. Oh, yeah. I'm probably gonna be talking for a minute. All right. Let's get to our last topic for tonight. Dune Part 2. Woo-wee! Now that Dune Part 2 is now coming to theaters. This is going to probably be the main movie you've probably already heard a lot of talk about. If you've already been on my channel, I've already released my early reaction to what I saw. I now's the time where I can kind of expand on that just a little bit more for you guys. So, first of all, when it comes to Dune, let's go ahead and start off with like just a really, really quick intro. So, you start off here, Dune Part 2. It's going to explore the mythic journey of Paul Atreides, as you see here, as he unites with Shani, that was played by Zendaya, and the Freeman, while on a path of revenge against the conspirators who destroyed his family. Facing a choice between the love of his life and the fate of the known universe, he endeavors to prevent a terrible future that only he can see. Okay, so that's basically what Dune 2 is about. Okay, so let's first of all start off with the good. I think that when you have someone like Denis Villeneuve, the director, the one thing that is going to stand out, and it's, probably his bread and butter at this point, it's going to be the visuals. The visuals in this movie are insane. The cinematography is absolutely perfect. You have like the desert scenes. Look at just this shot. Just this shot. This is the type of imagery that he's talking about, that, in his interviews, that he really gravitates to in his films. I personally really enjoyed this right from the very first beginning shot. The second we get into the desert, you're getting into the action scenes. Just pay attention to the camera angles, when the bodies hit the floor, and you'll know what that is. Pay attention to like how the camera works. Pay attention to the different angles. Pay attention to all the different scenery and everything that happens, because he really does give you this huge scale, this scale that makes you feel small at times, and I'm telling you, this is so solid when it comes to these type of scenes. And it was definitely something that I absolutely enjoyed. You have a couple scenes also when it comes to the visuals. You have a scene here that's kind of like you're in like this gladiator, arena type of thing. And just notice how they changed the color. Now it's in black and white. Why? Because you're on a different planet. The vibe changes, the feel changes, the visuals change. That's how vivid and that's how interactive, Denis Villeneuve has made this whole movie, where even when you go to a different planet, you feel it. Like it really does feel like you're going and you're being somewhere else. So like the visuals are fantastic. And not only that, I would argue that the director masterfully crafted a very unique and captivating sense of not just the imagery, but also the sound. Sometimes you forget that you're watching an actual movie. I mean, when I'm sitting there, I'm watching this movie and I'm listening to the audience, but that wasn't the audience. It was the crowd in the movie. That's how dope the surround sound was. I was like, yo, am I here? Like, what is happening? It really felt like an immersive experience. Now, the closest that I can give you as an example would be like Avatar. If you saw Avatar for the very first time in a very big screen, in the theaters. No, I'm not saying the visuals are exactly the same. I'm talking about how it feels, the immersive experience being in the theater where you sitting there and you're watching Avatar and you're like, yo, I feel like I'm also riding this crazy creature, or man, I feel like I'm actually in the water right now. In other words, you forget that you're watching a movie. And that's what the visuals in this whole in Dune 2 really accomplished, in my opinion. Like you just could not help but to really get engulfed in all of these different things. And even and it's also the subtle stuff, right? So like there's a scene where you see Paul Atreides walking towards a crowd of people, and the camera goes into slow motion. Now, here's the thing. I've talked about this with other directors that I won't name. And the slow motion, it's gradual, right? It's not something like really, really slow, and then you finally get there 10 minutes later. I mean, he's doing it in a gradual way where now, as the audience, you could sit here and see the scale. You could see all the people that he's about to talk to, and you could sit here and be like, yo, I can bask in this moment the right way. It's those subtle little camera tricks that really capture you in this film. So that right there absolutely was a highlight, in this movie. And I would argue that this movie did the visuals and cinematography so well that you might have classes taught on this. I've heard a lot of people say, oh, he's a master and all that. Yeah, he got it. Okay. My man did it. He got it with this movie. So, again, feel free. That is definitely going to be something you'll want to look at. And when I tell you the desert battles, the fights in the desert were amazing. That was probably one of my other favorite moments in the film, was when people are fighting in the desert. You just get to see all these other cool little techniques. Again, you can already see the scale here. This is a huge battle. This is a huge battle that they're doing. And what I liked was the fact that the sand people always had to go against different army tactics, military tactics. And I just thought it was really refreshing that, like, yo, the action never felt stale. There was always something here that was interesting, that was different. And it was exciting to see. So that to me was really, really cool. That they really knocked out the park there. But I think that now I have to talk about the performances. Of course, you have Zendaya, she's here. She does a really good job. Her chemistry with Timothy Chalamet, he was that was really on point. You really do feel what they're going through, and I would argue this. There's a moment in this, and shout out to Zendaya for this. You're good at acting when you don't have to speak and your actions speak volumes. And I'm going to tell you this. I'm not going to tell you what happens because this is a spoiler-free review. But when you see her look at this point in the movie, I know in my audience, people was like, oh, like it just, everyone just got it. And I felt it. And I was just like, yo, this right here, that's acting. That's good acting, right? So that was definitely phenomenal. My man Dave Bautista came through. Again, he was doing his thing. Shout out to Dave Bautista, man, because he was really putting on a good performance. Javier Bardem, fantastic as well. By the way, my man was actually funnier than you probably would have thought. Like, I had no idea his I'm not gonna tell you how he was funny, but he got a couple chuckles. I'll just say that. It's not silly, it's not goofy, but he got a couple chuckles in this film that you might not have seen coming. Of course, the Skarsgård oh my gosh, this family is ridiculous. Shout out, look at the makeup team, the big bully, the big baron or whatever. He was fantastic. But listen, you got a huge cast of great actors, and out of all of them, I have to say Austin Butler probably tried to steal the entire show. The second this man gets on camera, the second this man is introduced, you almost forget about everybody else. You are just like, who is he? What is going on? What is his deal? I need to know more. How, why, what is going on with, Voldemort Jr. here? But he absolutely was a scene stealer. His transformation in terms of like, he's that little heartthrob or whatever people like, but he turns into like this menacing, antagonistic character, and you can't help but to watch. You just cannot help. So he absolutely carries the film for the most part, especially towards the end of the film. And then of course, um, something else that I think is kind of important to talk about is this movie that I appreciated was the dialogue was a lot better. And what I mean by that is there are moments in the first movie that I just didn't get. It was too thick, it was too vague, stuff didn't make sense to me. And this movie, what it does better than the other one is it actually does a little bit of hand holding. And honestly, when you're talking about Dune, something that's so rich, you need that. You need to figure out things, right? So, like, this movie does a much better job at being more accessible to the average viewer. So, again, if you were kind of confused about, like, who was that? What's that family? What planet is this? Listen, they explain things a lot clearer in this film, and I thought that that was very, very important and very vital, just to basically keep up with the film, because again, there's a lot going on, right? So with that said, I like the visuals, sound quality, action, performances were on point, um and just the overall dialogue was pretty good. But now I got to talk about the bad. So, first and foremost, in case you didn't know, Dune is like, and I think 2 hours and 48 minutes, something like that. It feels long. It does feel long. You gonna feel every piece of this movie because it's just the pacing. The pacing at certain points, if it's not a lot of crazy action or some amazing, stupidly vivid visual, it's gonna drag a little bit. There are moments where I was kind of like, just not long, not long. But there were times I was kind of looking at my watch, like, come on, like, what? How long we been here? So it does feel long. There are moments. It doesn't hurt the movie in a bad way, but you feel the length. You feel the length, right? In addition to that, I think my other issue was that even though I did like some of the dialogue and how they explained certain things, like, hey, this is that character's motivation, hey, this is what's going on. Honestly, some of the dialogue, it didn't always, it wasn't always executed the best when it came to the overall story. And let me give you one big example. So in the third act, towards the end of the movie, there's a certain plot twist. There's a certain reveal that ends up happening, and it's supposed to be a shocking reveal. Like when it happens, it's supposed to be a big thing. But the impact, I thought, kind of fell flat due to the fact that this movie didn't take the time to build it up. right? Like it's almost like I really don't want to ruin it for you guys, but the problem was just the fact that if you're gonna have a big reveal, you have to build it up enough for us to care about it. And I don't think that they did a good job with that. So, maybe some hardcore Dune fans, maybe they caught that surprise. But I remember when it happened, and I was just kind of like, that's it. So what? Oh, that's the case? All right. Whatever. So again, it felt like a wasted opportunity for a potentially really good plot twist or reveal to kind of fall flat like that. Now, my bigger issue, and again, it's more minor, but it is still an issue, was in the conflicts. So you have a lot of conflicts in this movie, a lot of fight scenes, big battles, and stuff like that. One of the issues that I have was the fact that even when you see certain fights, when things get built up, when things are like at an all-time high, and you're sitting here like, yes, I've been waiting for this person and that person to go at it. Yes, I've been waiting for these. Ooh, yeah, let's go. The fights would start off dope, but man, they would end poorly. They would end in such an anticlimactic fashion. Matter of fact, there was one scene where big fight going very well, but some of the action takes place off screen. So when it takes place off screen, you sitting here like, well, what happened? Wait, that person won? Wait, or if it didn't happen off screen, it happened too fast. I was like, wait a minute, we just got here. That's it? Y'all just gonna fight for 30 seconds? Like, I've been waiting 2.5 like movies for the what? That's it. So for me, there was those kind of big fights did not work. I felt like they were kind of rushed and or just not done very well. But that's it. That's it that I got for the bad. Now I got to give y'all my overall rating and the reason behind Dune Part Two. So I would say this. Dune Part 2 is absolutely a must watch. And I don't say this often, but it is an epic sci-fi. It is visually stunning. It's an adventure that could already be considered, dare I say, the best movie of the year. It has all the potential to still be the best movie of the year. It's a sci-fi fan's dream come true, and that's no question about it because you have to experience this on the biggest screen possible. Now, I saw this in IMAX, and I'm really convinced that if you don't see this on the biggest screen, you could be selling yourself short. And that's all. Like, this is not the movie to watch on your 50-inch TV screen at home. No disrespect to nobody with 50-inch TV screens. Okay, I got one, but I'm just saying this ain't that kind of movie. This is kind of like how the same way the best way to watch Avatar was in theaters. This is that kind of movie. This is that movie that you do want to put that time and investment into. So yeah, that is something that absolutely should be put into consideration when you are deciding if you're going to go see it. And I would say, look, if you compared the previous Doom Part 1 to this film, the sequel, I thought raised the bar in a lot of areas and feels more entertaining for audiences. Doom Part 2, I think immediately enters the conversations for awards, especially nominations in cinematography, best picture, and best director. I think all of those are already in the running with this movie. So when it comes to the rating for Dune Part 2, I've got to give it a 9 out of 10. This movie was fantastic. Um, this was definitely something that I did not see coming. And I'll be fully honest, I was not excited for this movie. I heard a lot of hype and talk about it from my colleagues. It's a masterpiece. It's awesome. It's great. And usually when I hear that, I'm like, Cap, all right, whatever. Like I hear it from the film bros, a lot. But this time I was like, oh, I get it. All right, I see it. Now, for my not so avid film fans, right? For my people that like, you watch movies, you like movies, but maybe you just not all that deep into Dune. Let me talk to you real quick because I was kind of like this with Dune. I was not a fan of Dune. I never read the books. I never watched the TV series. I only watched the original 1984 movie, and then I watched part one. And to be honest, even though part one was technically made very nicely, I did not think that it was the best movie. Like it was like, whatever. Like I get it, but not really, right? So anyway, this is what I would tell if you're like a newcomer to Dune. If you're like, man, I've been on the fence. I don't know if I need to see this or not. This is what I would tell you. Like jumping into Dune Part Two is kind of like jumping into the deep end of a pool and you don't know how to swim, right? So the sequel does try to explain some of the more ambiguous things of part one. In other words, the sequel is kind of like getting a life raft, or it's like the little swim jacket or whatever, the life jacket. It's kind of like that. Yeah, you might not know how to swim, but that life jacket it's gonna hold you up. Okay, you're gonna be floating, all right, and you can enjoy the water. So part two primarily builds upon the foundation that the first film establishes. So again, if you watch the first movie and you don't remember all them names, you don't remember all them planets, you don't know why people were doing certain things, it's okay. Because part two is going to assume that you just have a little bit of knowledge and they're gonna handhold you the rest of the way. They're gonna give you, so don't feel like you gotta recall all the details. Don't think that you gotta put everything together. Just watch the first movie and you'll be all right with the second. So I think that would help give you the necessary context to fully appreciate the epic journey in part two. And once you experience both films, and I say both of them in theaters, if you can't, not part one, but once you experience both films and you watch this in theaters, I think that you're gonna have a really good time. So that's my thoughts on Dune Part Two. Have you seen Dune Part Two yet? Or do you plan on watching Dune Part Two? If and when you do, come on back to this video and let me know, what did you think about it? What was your rating for Dune Part Two? Again, whatever you think, let me know in the comments down below. All right, that was my whole thing. All right. Oh, what we got? Oh, y'all already saw it? Okay. Uh, 9. See, this is why we friends. This is why we all cool. Closer to a 10. That's fine. Okay, 9.5. Listen, I'm with you on that. I understand. And yes, listen, this is, and TV, this is so funny because it's hilarious. Remember when we had that weird person come in here and be like, why does he hate everything? He hates everything. I don't hate stuff. I call things as I see them. If something is great, I'm gonna let y'all know. If I think something's great, I'm gonna let you know. If something boo-boo, I'm gonna let you know that too. So listen, coming from Madam Web to this, full 180. Okay, full 180. So yeah, and I don't call a lot of movies epic. The last movie that I called epic, I think it was The Lord of the Rings. I think like the trilogy. That was the last thing that comes to mind that I really was like, that's epic. That's not something that you really say. You know what I'm saying? At least not me. I don't call things masterpieces. I don't call things, because I feel like when you do that, it waters things down, and sometimes even overhype stuff. But this, I'm like, I challenge somebody without being a contrarian, so don't be just one of them random haters, to go into Dune and be like, man, these visuals suck. Like, I don't know if I can trust your opinion, if that's, you're entitled to that opinion, but I don't know if I can trust somebody that looks at that movie and like, man, them visuals suck. Now, I could totally see people have an issue with the storyline, because listen, Dune Part One was kind of like it was like a heavy, thick milkshake, right? and you have to suck it through like a thin straw. Y'all ever had a heavy, thick milkshake through a thin straw? You trying to get that milkshake in, and guess what? When you finally get it in, after all that struggling, now you got a brain freeze, you know? But then at the same time, that milkshake was good. It's delicious. So that's the way I kind of felt with Dune. I'm like, man, this so thick, this so heavy. I don't know if I even want to do this. But then you get that little aftertaste. You're like, hey, you know what? This wasn't too bad. I like this milkshake. This actually, I can do this, Anyway, all right. I think. Oh wait, no, I got comments. I'm sorry. Let me grab these comments now. Mr. Mitchell, what you got? Happy Friday, E-Fam. Just got out of Dune 2. Sheesh. Excited we made the live to hear our fam's thoughts. Man, thank you so much. Appreciate you. Oh, and you did it right. You did it right with you see, I told you, I'm not leading y'all astray. I care about y'all dollars now. Okay. I'm not going to tell y'all to go watch something and spend more money if I didn't think y'all would have a good time with it. That IMAX, that's worth it. I drove an extra 30 minutes out my way just to go see this thing in IMAX, and I don't regret a second of it. Not 1 second. So yes, that IMAX right there, that's almost required. Okay, almost required. But all right, thank you for that. Let's see. I got Tony. Now I got a couple of yours. Thoughts on the Ghost in the Shell live action? Are you talking about the one with ScarJo? Ugh. I watched it. I remember watching Ghost in the Shell when I was a kid. I have no business. I had no business watching Ghost in the Shell as a kid. Listen, that cover was interesting. Okay, I remember going to the little Hollywood video blockbuster, whatever. I'm like, ooh, what's this Ghost in the Shell? I said, hold on, Dad, can I get this? And I got it without the cover on it, because Blockbuster used to have just the thing, so he ain't know what it was. I was just like, yeah, Ghost in the Shell. Yeah, it's about scary ghosts. Yeah, can I get the Ghost in the Shell? But the ScarJo thing, I wasn't feeling it. I didn't feel that at all. And yeah, just over time, it just nah. It wasn't my cup of tea. Not for anime anyway. But thank you so much for that, Tony. I appreciate you. You got one more here. Any thoughts on Canon Films as a studio in the day before they went bankrupt and got rebuilt into now Millennium Media from the great Avi Lerner? I have zero idea what you mean. What Canon Films are you talking about, man? Let's see what Avi's credits are. Oh, okay. Are you talking about what he produced? Okay, so like I see Avi did his executive producer on Hellboy, Rambo, Expendables. Is that what you mean? Like if we're doing Canon Films like that, Hitman's Wife, Bodyguard, Hellboy. Oh, okay. Angel Has Fallen. Doing Canon Films before they went bankrupt. I would just say this. I don't mind as long as the movie's good. If you're gonna do a Canon film and it's good, I don't really care whether y'all go bankrupt or not. I don't care about nothing. Listen, when it comes to being a moviegoer, I'm selfish. It's what are you gonna give me? I don't care about your finances. I don't care about your situation. What you gonna give me? Because I'm already giving you my money. What you do with my money after that, I don't care. But are you giving us some solid films? So anyway, that would be my uneducated, uninformed thoughts on that. But thank you so much, Tony. I always appreciate you. Shout out to you for that. All right, guys, that is all I got for today. I want to thank y'all so much for taking the time to just listen to me ramble all day long and all night. I got some babies I gotta go put in no, they already sleep. I forgot they already sleep. Anyway, we will be here same time next week, Friday, hopefully 7-ish. I will try and be here at 7:00. But yeah, that's all I got. Guys, feel free to go ahead, leave any comments, thoughts, in the comments. I'll be back. Check them out as well. Thank you so much. Make sure you guys have a good, safe weekend. Enjoy yourself. You know the routine. Wash your hands, wash your butts, and everything in between. Until next time, peace.